Hello, my name is Mr. White. Today we're going to talk about making movies with iMovie in class. Our goal is to make something that looks as professional as possible, runs smoothly, and looks like it belongs on TV. To start, we'll look at some mistakes that are made by rookie filmmakers. The first mistake has to do with microphones. Many times they're not used when they should be.
Like now, you have to strain to hear me, and the quality of the sound is lacking.
Another thing to remember is you have to be careful when you place the microphone jack into the camera. It's very fragile, so you don't want to be moving the microphone around or the camera around while the microphone's plugged in. When you move the camera, you should always unplug the microphone.
Another mistake has to do with the use of a tripod. Without one, total disorientation can result. All the other shots in this film used a tripod. As you can see, the feeling of the shot is very different from the rest of this film. You have little idea of what is going on here. Our third mistake to avoid has to do with zooming. Rookie filmmakers use this feature way too often, and when they use it, they tend to zoom in and out too fast. Zooming in and out several times, back and forth, makes the viewer disoriented, and the focus of your film is lost to the feeling of dizziness. This would be a much better example of when to use a zoom. You set the scene in somebody's backyard, and that there's a little boy playing in the sandbox, and then you're interested in what he's doing, so the camera zooms in to see. Our fourth mistake has to do with distance from the camera. Your most interesting shots are close-up or medium shots. Notice here our subject is shown entering the door from two long-distance shots. It seems boring and slow. Next is a better way to convey the same idea. It involves filming the subject 4 separate times entering the door and shooting from several different angles to create the appearance that you have several cameras. This next clip shows that clips usually should average about 7 seconds. Longer length clips like this one leave the viewer wondering what is going to happen. And when nothing happens, boredom sets in. On this example, the camera is too close. With the slightest movement by the subject, they move off camera. The viewer has no idea where the shot is being taken, and this leads to confusion. And finally, we have the pan. Rookie filmmakers are excited and want to show everything. This leads to the fast pan. It's confusing and disoriented. If you truly want to show the area set the scene, do it slowly. You might have to try it several times before you get it to be slow enough, like this. Let's review the technical mistakes.
Next, let's look at some ideas to make your video flow better, look more professional, and easier to watch. Let's look at the rule of thirds. In the rule of thirds, notice in all these clips, my eyes are about 1/3 from the top of the screen and 2/3 from the bottom of the screen. This is a good place to have your viewers focus.
Some more ideas to keep in mind are lead space and headroom. When you have people in your shot, there should be more space in front of them than behind. Notice how awkward this shot looks. And this one. You want to go up to the TV and look to the right and down to see what is missing in these shots. Providing proper head space and lead space puts the viewer at ease. Here's an idea that'll save you a ton of time. If you create a storyboard or script ahead of time, you'll know exactly what you're filming and exactly what you want to say. You won't waste any time redoing shots over and over again. Another concept to be mindful of is lighting. The light needs to be behind you. Notice in this clip we can see the subjects outside along with the scenery. As they enter, they get dark and the scenery turns to white. Then, as they proceed towards the camera, they come back into focus and the scenery outside turns totally white. As most of your filming will probably take place in our building, remember not to shoot video towards the windows. Here's an idea to make your video more interesting. Vary the angle of your shot. If you're 6'2" like me, all your shots shouldn't be from 6'2". All the shots start to look similar. Instead, Move the camera lower for some shots and higher for others, and other times get level with the subject. Another idea that can help rookie filmmakers is to give your film some depth. The TV is a 2D object, so don't shoot the side of a van. Shoot it in an angle like this. That way you provide something in the front of the shot and in the back. It makes it more interesting. Although Abbey Road was a popular album cover, we never knew where they were coming from or where they were going to. Thus all the questions. But if they had done it this way, we knew they were coming from across the street and they were moving towards the camera. This provides depth to the shot. You can create a lot of interest in your film by varying the angles and coming up with interesting camera placement. Get in tight to see what your subject's doing. If they're opening a locker, show it. If they're reaching inside, show the perspective from the locker. Make sure your teacher gets out of the way first. Let's review the things that make your film look better.